The views of the guest are that of the guests and do not represent nor reflect the views and opinions of the Lockoutmen channel, the Recruiter Call channel, nor its host. This site content is for entertainment, educational, and informational purposes only.
You probably heard this thousands of times.
So there is a huge misconception that after you get out of CDL school, you are going to be able to get hired on a local position, which means that you're home every night. You are probably not, which I mean 85% not going to end up getting a local position straight out of CDL school. And the reason I say that is because you don't even have 1 day of experience, let alone a year, okay?
But what if I told you that's just not true? What if I told you that plenty of people are getting local jobs without ever touching over the road? The problem is a lot of people repeat what they hear without actually looking deeper into how things really work.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for listening. Now, I just watched a video where someone said that new CDL holders pretty much have no shot at getting a local job straight out of school. They say you're looking at about 85% chance of going OTR first. And I hear this a lot. You need at least a year of experience before anyone will ever look at you for a local job. But listen, drivers and new drivers alike, that's not entirely true. Here's the thing. Yes, most local jobs prefer experience, but that doesn't mean there aren't local companies willing to take on a fresh new driver. In fact, I personally know drivers who went straight from CDL school to a local job. How? They didn't just apply to the first big name company that they saw. They took their time, they searched hard, and they found the right fit. Let me break it down for you. Local companies need drivers for food and beverage like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Cisco, LTL freight like FedEx, Old Dominion, Estates, constructions and dump truck companies, tanker deliveries. Some places will train you if you got your endorsement. Are these jobs as easy to land as an OTR position at Swift or Warner? No. But are they impossible? Also no. You just have to know where to look and how to approach it. So why do people keep saying that you have to go OTR first? The reality is OTR companies have the biggest marketing budgets, the biggest recruiting programs, and the biggest footprint. They make it easy to get hired, and they tell new drivers that this is the only way to go. But let's be real here. These companies want you to go OTR because they need people to do the hardest long haul jobs.
You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers.
Think about it. They don't care about your home time, your family, or your personal life. They care about filling those seats. Smaller local companies don't always have that same reach. They're not spending millions on ads, but they do exist. And they will hire you if you approach them the right way. All right, so you're probably wondering, okay, but how do I actually find these jobs? Let's go over the strategies that might work for you. Start with a small, medium-sized trucking company in your area, not just the big names. Check Indeed, Craigslist, hell, Facebook, local trucking groups. Yes, companies do post in local trucking groups. Go in person to a local truck yard and terminals and ask if they're hiring entry-level CDL drivers. Another good thing to do that was suggested to me was to get on a highway, and if you see the day cabs, write down the names of the companies that you see on those day cabs. After you do that, go and Google each one of those names, find the addresses, the phone numbers, and all that good stuff. And instead of calling them, go ahead and go to the terminal and see if you can talk to the HR person in person. Another thing you could do to strengthen your ability to get a local job Get your endorsements. Get your hazmat, get your tankers, your doubles and triples. This makes you way more valuable. Also, you can apply to all sorts of food companies. There's Gordon, there's Cisco, there's US Foods. Some of them companies train new CDL drivers more often than you think. Listen, you have to put in the effort, driver. It's not as simple as clicking apply on the first ad you see. But if you're serious about local work, it's out there. Another big argument out there was that trucking isn't for you if you get lonely or depressed easily.
Another thing I want to touch on, you should not get into trucking if you are easily depressed, if you easily get very lonely, because most of these drivers out here are solo.
And I agree that trucking is tough, lonely job. But that's exactly why a lot of people want local work instead of OTR. If someone who values family time, a local gig makes it way more sense than disappearing for 2 to 3 weeks at a time. And that's why I keep hammering this point. If OTR is your only option, fine. But don't let anyone tell you that it is your only option. There's always options out there if you put in the work. At the end of the day, the industry is what you make of it. If you're willing to settle for the first job thrown at you, then sure, you're going OTR for a year. But if you take the time to actually research, apply strategy, and network, you can go local right out the gate. So don't let people put limits on you just because it didn't work for them. Trucking isn't a one-size-fits-all job. I'm going to leave this here for you. Do you think new CDL drivers should go local right away, or is OTR a necessary step? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, everybody.